and suddenly, the sky split open. It was not a sound, but a blinding light, a white flash that turned daylight into a raging inferno.
History is written by the victors, yet sometimes it is left as a painful tattoo on the bodies of the survivors. In 1945, the world did not yet understand the meaning of an ending until that morning began. Tsutomu Yamaguchi, a young man in the spring of his life, a simple Japanese engineer, believed his greatest concern was finishing a work assignment and returning to his family. He did not know that his name would be carved into the pages of history, not as a war hero, but as the luckiest man and the most unfortunate at the same time. Hiroshima was quiet to an unsettling degree, and fate was preparing a chapter humanity had been. And suddenly, the sky split open. It was not a sound, but a blinding light, a white flash that turned daylight into a raging inferno. In that instant, thousands of souls were vaporized in a single second, yet Yamaguchi's fate was different. He found himself hurled through the air, like a feather caught in a firestorm. He crashed to the ground amid the ashes, his body burning, his eardrum completely torn. When he opened his eyes, the city he had been walking through was gone. In its place stood a vast gray graveyard. Crawling through the charred bodies was the only way forward, and the smell, the stench of burned death, settled into his breath forever. By a miracle the mind can scarcely comprehend, Yamaguchi gathered what strength he had left. He crawled toward the station and boarded a train filled with ghosts, people stripped of their features, their skin hanging from their bodies. Everyone was fleeing Hiroshima, and he fled with them, heading for his own city, Nagasaki. He believed he was escaping death towards safety, that fate had taken all it intended from him. He arrived home with white bandages covering half his body. The shock on his wife's face was enough to tell him that his features had changed, and that the young man who had left was not the same one who returned. On the morning of August 9th, despite his bleeding wounds, Yamaguchi went to work. He wanted to prove to himself that life went on. He sat before his manager trying to describe a bomb that could erase an entire city. But the manager mocked him, laughed, and said, "Yamaguchi, you're an engineer. How can you believe a single bomb could do all that?" And at that exact moment, while the smile had not yet left the manager's face, the flash returned. The same cold white light, the same heat that melts iron. Fate chose to strike Yamaguchi once more, this time in his home city. Yamaguchi felt once again, the same terror repeating as if it were an endless nightmare. Nagasaki was now being vaporized. Yet he emerged from the rubble for the second time. Was it luck or the curse of survival to witness the end of the world? Rain began to fall, but it was no ordinary rain. It was the black rain, poisoned with radioactive toxins. People drank from it in their thirst, only to die from within. Yamaguchi watched his son wither, watched his body decay, yet his soul refused to leave this world before it screamed the truth. Yamaguchi lived for decades carrying the stigma of a survivor. People feared touching survivors, believing radiation was contagious. He lived in silence for years, raising his daughters, battling the cancer that ravaged his stomach and skin. But in the autumn of his life, he decided that silence was a crime. He traveled the world, standing in New York, Paris, Geneva. He told everyone, "I am the man who died twice, and I am here to prevent your death." He became a global icon, his calm voice more powerful than the roar of the bombs that fell over his head. In 2010, at the age of 93, Yamaguchi closed his eyes for the last time. He did not die burned nor crushed beneath the rubble. He passed away as a venerable elder, surrounded by his family. The man who survived the atomic bomb twice left us with a single lesson: that the human will to survive and to spread peace is the only weapon no technology in the world can destroy. Yamaguchi slept in peace, assured that the world would never forget his cry, "No more Hiroshima, no more Nagasaki."